Hello folks, Richard Johnson and welcome to World of Tanks. I have been thinking and wondering some bit now, for I watched a video of the new 9.5 update, the reviews of it, and they were talking about this new British Tier 10 TD, which will have the same gun as the already existing British Tier 10 TD, but they were thinking of naming it the Deathstar the second, or Deathstar 2. But I was getting to wondering there now. I mean, wasn't the Jagdpanzer E100 named the Death Star, or just the Death Star 1 or Death Star, before even the FV, is it 215B 183, was implemented in the game? So I was searching around, doing some research and all that, looking for facts and informations, and it showed actually that, and I remember it because I have seen it myself before they remade information, but that on the Wikipedia page, World of Tanks' own Wikipedia page, if you went and searched for the Jagdpanzer E100 and saw the information about it before, and the FV 215B 183 was implemented to the game, this tank had the name Deathstar in its information. It had the Deathstar there for some time when the FV was in the game also, but then they for some reason removed it, maybe because all of the players decided, or many more of the players decided, to call the FV the Death Star instead of the Jagdpanzer, and the Jagdpanzer then got the Jaegeru from some YouTubers, and the players have been calling it. So the Jagdpanzer for E100 now is the Jaegeru, and the FV 183 is the Death Star, and the new FV would probably be the Death Star 2. I don't know, perhaps. So, I mean, why did they remove the name from the Jagdpanzer? I mean, it still is that monstrously big, powerful tank. Was it just because the new tank, the FV, had a bigger gun? It's 13mm bigger than the gun on the Jagdpanzer, but does that mean it's officially the Death Star? Is the Death Star title only a title to the tank with the biggest gun? So yeah, I didn't bother enough. I mean, checking around, talking to people and all that about it. I have settled my own decisions. For me, the Jagdpanzer E100 is still the Death Star because it got the name first, and you don't change the title of it because someone else got a bigger gun. Because all of a sudden, if a other tank has a bigger gun, then will it get the title, and so on and so on and so on. I mean, artillery has bigger gun calibers than tank destroyers, so if a heavy tank gets it, and so on, will it change? But yeah, enough of that. Let's get into some actions with the original Death Star. Getting nostalgic here now. I'm talking about the original and the first of them all, and yeah. I mean, Death Star is just a nickname for a tank. I mean, if you prefer to call the Jagdpanzer E100 the Jagdpanzer, or the Panzer E100, or the Jaegeru, or the Death Star, it's fine, it's up to you, no one is going to judge you. But if they start to judge you because they say, oh, that's wrong, that name is on the other tank, then those are the ones that are the problem. Those people that can't agree that the name is whatever you decide it for. TD here, I scouts. So we're at Abbey, the monastery in the middle there. Thinking actually of going left side now, since I see that no one is doing it, or the east side if you are going for where the minimap is showing, for what the minimap is showing. I loaded 5 high explosives, 5 heat, and the rest is standard AP. This tank, as I said, has a 170mm gun. Average is 1050 on the AP, Same for the heat, and average is 1400 for the high explosives. That was loud. My ears exploded. Alright, bad luck for the, or bad start for AMX TD there. Got wrecked by artillery and something else, perhaps. So if it was 2 artillery shots that hit him, since it was a really loud boom or really loud sound. I wonder if he can move. Right, he's behind solid cover. Object 6 points firing. I bet there is some Jagdpanzer E100s in the back over there. Yep, here comes the E100, and he is platoon with a Jagdpanzer E100. So I'm betting that they will have a Jagdpanzer E100 sniping in the rear, or he will come around this corner as well. Yep, I spotted. Soon a shot will probably appear from that side. There's the T-34. There it came. And here comes the artillery. And all of a sudden I've lost more than half my health. Where did he hit? He damaged my gun at the same time, so if that is where he hit, or if that is the high explosive shot from the artillery, because I can only see one. Maybe it was only a splash from the artillery, since he only did 141 hit damage of hit points to me. Sure. With an average of 300 millimeters of penetration, that one bounced. Here it comes. FV, yeah. The for every tank that is big, deadly, and slow, artillery is gonna take a shot at him. So, and that's one of the things that you will have to deal with if you are driving this tank. Low damage roll. And since those British tier Ds are actually extremely OP with their gun arc, the arc that their shots are traveling in, it is not so easy to get good cover. I mean, I bet those FVs, that FV can hit me even from this hiding position. And I'm due. One shot from that Panzer 100 and I'm gone now. Yeah. If I only have had a better damage roll with my first shot. Alright. E100 find gold apparently. Well, he's using that small caliber gun, yeah, the same that is on the mouse. Another battle with the Jagdpanzer 100 and see if we can do some more crucial and extremely annoyingly high amount of damage with it. Yeah, we can go over the... no, we can't. I was gonna tell you we can go over the equipments and modules and that you can attach and apply for the tank, but since it's in battle we can't open up the window and look at all the different versatiles or the different items that you can load up on your tank to make it perform better. So let's take a look at that just in a matter of seconds. No, well, yeah, matter of seconds in the video, but when the tank is back in the garage we can have a look at that. So see you soon. So super heavy spall liner. Very good if you want to be a little bit more secure when artillery is hitting at you, like now that when I was taking damage from that British tier 8 artillery, I think it was a tier 8. He hit me with high explosive but didn't crit me or anything like that. Not my crews didn't take any damage at least. So super heavy spaliner is a very good thing if you want to get a little bit more artillery secure with this tank. And it's very good ramming tank as well if you get speed up, since it weighs roughly 136 tons with the spaliner. The spaliner weighs 1.5 ton. Improved ventilation class 3 is very good to use, since it will boost if you have brothers in arms, like I'm going for now. If you have brothers in arms and you're going with improved ventilation also, it will boost your crew even more, so you will get that gun reloaded a little bit faster, and rate of fire. I mean, the aiming time will get better and all that, so the overall performance will get better on a tank. So improved ventilation is must also. I'm gonna go for it when I have got the I have the money, but I don't wanna spend it all now, so I'm not gonna use binoculars anymore. Toolbox can be good. It's like a binocular. You can put it on any tank you want. It's quite easy to get detracked with this tank. It has huge tracks, and it's not that hard for them to know what if you are turning this tank around against you or something like that. You don't want to get a gun at you, so what you do is that you fire into the tracks, and yeah, hopefully he doesn't have a repair kit or a toolbox that makes him repair it faster. Large caliber tank on rammer is a must to have on this tank. It does quite much, since it has that long reload time. 10% is giving it very good reload when you have that added on. I have not calculated on how much big of a difference it is, but I am roughly around 22 seconds. I think it was 23, 24 when before I had that one on, or something like that. 23 I think it was. Hinged gun length drum is not anything to like bother with. It can be good, can be not. I mean, 2.78 seconds of aiming time isn't that bad for a gun this big, and what you have 22-23 seconds of aiming, so it's not just when the gun is reloaded. It's not like you're gonna start moving around the tank and all of a sudden you're finding a good position, waiting there, fully aimed, reloaded, enemy comes up, take a shot, move out when you are reloading, and when you are done reloading you will probably have enough time to get a new position and be fully aimed again. Coated optics, no, that's more scout and tanks that are in movement all the time, so either binocular, telescopes or toolbox if you want to have something that you can change or switch position on different tanks. Camonet can be a good thing, since it doesn't have the best camo values, but if you go for camouflage you will get a little bit better camouflage values as well, so you can either buy some permanent camouflage to the tank and then skip the camonet completely. But spaliner, improved ventilation, caliber tank, large caliber tank on rammer, that's what I would prefer to use on this tank. You can switch the spaliner for the toolbox or the binoculars or the camonet, depending on what you how you feel playing with the tank. If you think that artillery is always after you, then go for the spaliner, but if you're more aggressive player with the tank, go for toolbox. So if you are standing in the rear sniping, if you have good positions where you want to have that extra view range, go for the binoculars. 400, 413, that's what I have, 30 meters more with my skilled crew, but I don't have much that I don't have a crew. The only thing I have is a radio operator, his situational awareness, that gives me a better view range, but the commander can have, where is it, skills, the commander can have a recon, which increases the maximum view range also of the tank. Don't think there is anyone else that can extend the view range, so you can get the more skilled your crew is, but with those perks I will guess you can get around 20 meters more, or up to 30 meters more perhaps, and if you have binocular telescopes or tube telescopes you can get up over 500 meters, which means that you are seeing the maximum distance with this tank when stationary as you can see with any tank in the game. Heat can be good to use. I mean, the standard AP shells can penetrate up to 374 millimeters of armor. It's not many tanks that have more than that, but with the equivalent, with the sloping and all that, it can be good to sometimes use high explosive. But bear that in mind that high explosive isn't that good against sloped armor. For that you need armor piercing composite rigid APCR. Those are better against sloping. APCR isn't that good either at spaced armor or tracks. Tracks are spaced armor, since it's a high explosive anti-tank, so it will impact and explode. It will penetrate and explode on the impact more. It will impact, penetrate a little bit, and explode on the inside, while high explosive explode on the impact. So a high explosive explodes directly when it hits, if it can't penetrate. If it can penetrate, it will explode on the inside and dealing full damage. But high explosive is more or less, it will penetrate and then detonate on the inside. But if it hits spaced armor like this, it will pen the spaced armor and explode on the inside of the spaced armor more or less. So it will just explode here instead of going in and explode over here. So a small amount of heat can be good if you're firing against other Jag Panzer E100s or E3s or different tanks that are very well hull down and all that, and getting a very thick armor thickness. That's high explosive anti-tank shells can really do a lot. High explosive can be extremely fun to use as well, since it is a 170mm high explosive. I mean, why not fire a 17cm high explosive shell? You can do between 1000 and 1750, so between 1000 and 1800. And if you get the chance to fire at a glass cannon, such as the Waffenträgers, the Nashorns, and the Saint Emil, the Borsig and all that, you will probably want to fire high explosive at them and carrying high explosives, since they only have, like on the Waffenträger, they only have a small amount of armor thickness. The turret armor on the Waffenträger in the front is 20mm, some slope in here and there, might be up to 30mm. And that is enough for the high explosive to penetrate. It can penetrate between 64 to 106mm if it doesn't hit spaced armor. If it hits spaced armor, it will explode on the outside of the chassis, so it will not penetrate the chassis and explode on the inside. But that was it for this little small review of the Jag Panzer E100. Didn't have time to go through one more battle with it, but hopefully you will get the idea of how it is and how it handles. And if you are calling it the Deathstar or if you're calling it the Jaegeru, it's up to you. But I'm calling it whatever I want, and hopefully you will do it well. But leave a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe to support my work, share it with your friends and neighbors and all that, and comment in the sections below of what you think are the best ideals or situation for this tank to be in, or if you just have any smashingly good news to share with the community or with me. Just post it in the comment sections below, and I'll see you guys and girls in the next video of whatever I make. But till that time, take care of each other now, and bye bye then.